What's up YouTube, Adrian the Barber again, and back with another haircut tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a bald taper. This is a step-by-step tutorial. I'll be showing you the left side of the cut and the back. Again, for timing purposes, I'm not going to show the right side. You'll see the right side in the video, but I'm just going to show you the left side. You'll follow the same steps when you go to taper out the right side. Like I said, yeah, for timing purposes, I cut that out. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my wall detailers. I'm just gonna bald my client. You can see I'm going right about to the top of the ear, and I'm gonna do this all the way around the head. So I'm just cutting it against the grain. You can see here I'm gonna flip my clippers around, and I'm gonna cut in another direction, and that's just to get it even a little bit lower when you bald the hair. Sometimes I'll take my T-outliners because the blade's even thinner and gets even a cleaner cut, and I'll go, after I bald it with my detailers, I'll go over it again like upside down like you saw with my T-outliners. As you see, I'm doing the same thing on the right side. Now I'll get to the back. Same thing, I'm just going about an inch up from the bottom of the hairline and just balding it out. Now I'm gonna take my Andes Masters with no guard. I'm gonna open them up all the way, and I'm gonna make my second guideline. So right here you see what I'm doing. Before I start the fading process, I'm just setting myself up, like getting my areas where I'm be tapering. I'm getting it all set up, so getting it nice and smooth, so that way when I go get my blend, I can get a nice smooth blend. Preparation work is the key when it comes to fading. Like if you set yourself up well, you can get a really good fade or taper, whatever you call it. And on the right side, I'm doing the same thing, just making my second guideline. And you can see I got my 3 different levels now. And then I'm out back to the back of the head, and I'm going about another, 3/4 of an inch to an inch up. So now you see I got my 3 levels. I'm gonna start off first by blending out this bottom guideline, and so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move my lever on my masters just to halfway. And in this video, I'm just using my Andes Masters. I'm not using my Fade Masters or anything like that. Just the Andes Masters. And I'm sitting there and I'm just working out that guideline. Just going just barely above it, maybe like 1/4 of an inch to half an inch up. And then I'm just going to slowly work my lever all the way down closed. And by the time I get down to that close position, I should be blending out like the line of demarcation. Again, when you're tapering or fading, you always want to know where you're going to begin and where you're going to end. Like I know where my ending point is, and I know where my starting point is. Now I'm going to take my 0 guard, and these the purple magnetic guards, and I'm going to make another level. So after I got that blended out, I'm going to open it all the way up, and you can see here I'm just creating a 3rd level, and I'm starting that transition from my taper into the top of the head. And so with that, like you'll see later on in the video, I'll turn my clippers around and I'll start to come down to help get a smooth transition. Right now all I'm doing, I just went down halfway with the guard, and I'm starting to blend out that line now. Same exact technique as I used when I blended out that bottom line. I'm just going to work my clippers from open to close to help blend it out. I'm using a lot of my corners, and I'm changing the direction in which I'm fading because like I said in previous videos, the hair in the back never really grows. You might get some people that grow straight down. Most people, I say it doesn't grow straight down, and you have to go against the grain of the hair when you're doing the fading process, and so you always have to change the direction in which you're fading. You can see still just working my lever down. You can see that line starting to blend out a lot better now. And when I feel like, or after I get down all the way to my last level, with it closed, I'm gonna take that guard off, and you can see I still got a faint line in there. I'm gonna have my clippers all the way opened up, and I'm gonna go in using my same technique, just small flicks just to kind of blend out that line, and then I'm using a lot of the corners of my clippers to help take that line out as well. We get the question a lot about what's open and what's closed on the clippers. I mean, that's something that's really basic, and that's something you should know before you even start cutting hair. Is that open is when you're showing most of your top blade. So when you push the lever from the bottom position all the way up to the top, and closed is when it's all the way down and your blade is barely showing above the bottom blade. Like I said earlier, see how I take this zero guard, I put it on, and then I go with the grain of the hair. This is just helping me create a smoother transition into that top. So now I kind of created like a base, you can see, where it's flat and it's not curly. And I'll take my one guard, and I'm just gonna kind of feather that out. And it's gonna help me get a nice smooth transition into the top of the hair. So you'll see the result here in just 1 second. I'm just being really light. I'm not putting any pressure on the client's neck. When I'm blending, I'm just making small flicks with my wrist, and I'm not pressing into the head. And again, just working my lever down, just getting out any of that bulk. Remember to use your mirror. Your mirror is going to help you find those spots that need to be blended out better. See, again, I'm still using a lot of my corners. Now I got my zero guard on, and just to clean up any small spots I see, any darkness, I'll just take my zero and I'll go in. I'll just play with the lever and just kind of clean up any dark spots I see. So now after I get the taper all done, I'm just gonna take my anti-T outliners. I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna line up the back of the client's neck. I'm trying to stay on the natural hairline as much as possible. And always in the back, you want to stand behind your client and get a nice straight look to make sure that the V shape you created comes down and is even. So I'm just going to go over to the other side, continue to do the same thing. When you're lining up the back of the neck, you always want to brush the hair towards the ear, towards the neckline, to make sure that there's no hair falling over the neckline. Alright, so now as I get to the side taper, I'm going to take my number one guard, and like I said, the preparation to your fade before the fade is key. And I'm just going to create a base. So you can see, to get this smooth transition from the side into the top of the head, I'm going to go with the grain of the hair, just kind of pulling some of the hair down and creating a smooth transition into the top. And I had my clippers closed when I did that. Now you see I opened them up, and now I'm going to use that same number one guard, and I'm going to go and I'm going to start to blend out that base that I created. So you see I got my three levels. I get levers and levels mixed up. And I'm just going to work them closed, continue to blend out that line in any weight I see above that line. Now, if I'm confusing you guys at all, make sure you tell me in the comments, like, Adrian, I'm confused. I'm trying to break this down, make it as simple as a process as possible for you guys. And so you see, I'm still just got down to my closed position on my masters, and just continue to hit that line and blend it out as much as I can with the guard that I have on. And you'll see I play with my lever a little bit. And if I see any spots, I'll adjust my clippers up and down and kind of go and hit those spots. Now after I finish that with the one, I'm going to take my zero and this guard, open clipper, as you can see. And I'm working on this line now, working to blend that out. So I went through with my one. I'm still working on that same line. You can see the bulk up there towards the top. I'm gonna get that out with this zero guard. I got my clippers all the way open still, and I'm just feathering that hair into the top. And so what I mean by feathering is just being real light-handed, and so I'm just giving it a real quick flick right at where that weight is to help transition that into the top. Using the corners of my clippers there, you see, to get those spots that I see out. Now I'm almost all the way closed on my clippers. I'm just at like, if you have the masters, I'm on that second notch right now. Using the same process. I'm still not putting a lot of pressure into the fade. Again, just kind of feathering the hair. Just trying to do what I can to knock that line out. You see, I'm just adjusting my clippers as I go. If I see a spot that's a little heavier than another, then I'll open it up a little more and kind of blend that out. And you see, with my zero guard, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna turn my clippers around, and I'm just gonna try to smooth that top portion out where you see where there's a lot of weight, and that's the transition of the hair. And I want to try to make that as smooth as possible. So right here, I'm gonna open my clippers up all the way with no guard, and I'm gonna blend out the rest of this line that you can see. Same technique I was using before, just no guard on the clipper, obviously. Same thing, just start to work my clipper down. When I feel like I'm finished with the clipper in the open position and it's not cutting anything else, I'm gonna move down halfway and continue to go over that line. And then by the time I get back down to my clipper in the closed position, that's where that line should eventually be blended out. So once I close it all the way, you can see I got it closed all the way right here. Now I should be working that line out. And as you're going down in length on your clipper, so when you go from open to halfway to close, you're gonna be working, closer back down towards the guideline. So I don't want to have my clipper closed and be working in the same area where I was with my clipper all the way open, because then I'll be too high and I'll be pushing my taper way higher than I want it to be. And again, any spots I see, use my mirror to find those spots, and I'm just playing with the lever on the clipper up and down, blending out, cleaning up any little areas I feel need to be cleaned out a little better. Now, as I'm just about done with this taper, you can see right up at the top where my taper meets the hair, I kind of want to smooth that out a little bit better than what I have it. So I put my one guard back on, and I'm kind of just going with the grain of the hair, just smoothing a little better, and then with my one guard again, coming back against it. You can see how my transition turns in to be a lot smoother than it just was. You see I'm playing with the lever. Started with it in the open position and always work it closed. I always work open to close. It's better to take off less hair than more, because like I said, you can always take off more hair. You can't put more hair back on. So the final step in any sort of fading or tapering is just a cleanup process. Like I said, use your mirror. Go when you see any spots, go in with your clippers, start high, work low, and get it cleaned up. Now I'm gonna take my Wall 5-star shaver, and I'm just gonna go and just clean up the taper areas. I'm gonna do this on both sides and the back of the head. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend it. It's a great finishing tool. Now we get to the fun part of the lineup, but before I line his hair up, I'm gonna take my Wall Magic clips with a number 1 guard on. I'm gonna close them all the way, and I'm just gonna trim his hairline down. This is just gonna help to get a nice crispy hairline. The thing is, like, he has really curly hair, and so if I go and try to line it up, I'm gonna be doing a lot of combing, a lot of brushing, and it's gonna be hard to get that line, to get his natural hairline and get it a nice crisp line on it. Now with my T outliners here, like I show you guys in all my videos, when you get to the lineup, you want to brush the hair a lot. You always want to make sure no hair is falling over that line after you get done cutting it. And you're just going to tap and you're going to pull down and tap and pull down. And then when you get to those vertical lines, you're going to tap, you're going to pull in. And I don't know, I think the biggest thing that I can stress with a lineup is that if you brush the hair out, you line the client up one time, and then the line looks clean, and you don't go back over and comb it out or brush it again, you know, that's the most important part, because the line may look clean, they get up, they get out the chair, they go home, they brush their hair, and now they got all this hair falling over, and it looks like an old haircut now. It looks like your lineup was done 3 days ago, 4 days ago. And so to ensure you give them a nice crispy lineup, a nice straight lineup, brush it, brush it, brush it. I mean, go over it 2 or 3 times at least. And another great tip I can leave with you guys here at the end of the video is that when you are lining up your client, I probably said this before, face your client into the mirror. It's going to help you get a true view of if the line's straight or not. So this is the final product of the bald taper. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for viewing. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. More great videos every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. But until the next one, this has been Adrian the Barber, and I am out.